We'll return after these messages.
Hey, what's all the fuss, Penguin? Expecting company?
Oh, yes. The lucky winners of the post-cereal SeaWorld sweepstakes. Yippee!
You could win a trip to SeaWorld when you enter the sweepstakes on the free poster of
Never miss!
There's only one nerve.
Getting into drugs and being high is a stupid thing to do. Being original and take a stand. You're free to say no. Don't let a friend push you in to taking drugs. You got a right to say no.
We'll return after these messages.
Ronald McDonald in Hoppin' for Fries.
Hop this way for McDonald's French fries. It's a hopstickle course. Let's get hopping.
It's a good time for the great taste.
Oh, boy, French fries!
Oh, they're never more than a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Of McDonald's.
Dear, Timmy's making a picture of New Tang again.
New Tang breakfast beverage crystals. Are you ready? Now with all natural flavors. Are you ready for the big orange taste of New Tang?
Twix puts the dig in your gig. It puts the boom into your beat. Puts the rhythm in your feet. Keeps you rocking along. Puts the soul into your song. You can keep on moving with Twix. Chocolate caramel satisfaction. Like crispy cookie, get you back in the action.
There's nothing to sticks a Twix can't fix.
You can keep on moving with Twix. Caramel or peanut butter Twix.
This is the city. These are the people. There are the ghosts. And here are the heroes we've come to love. When there's a war to be won, they'll get it done.
Not funny.
The real Ghostbusters today.
We'll return after these messages.
It's that time of year again, and Cadbury has hatched up milk chocolate mini eggs for Easter, made with Cadbury's dairy milk chocolate. Inside the crisp sugar shell is a chunk of thick and creamy Cadbury's dairy milk chocolate. That's why mini eggs give you a chocolate experience that is so special. Although Easter isn't here yet, Cadbury's mini eggs are, so discover for yourself which comes first, the bunnies or the eggs.
Give me an X. Give me an O. Give me tic-tac-toe. Wherever I go, it's X's and O's. Makes me feel so hungry for my tic-tac-toes. They're so tasty. Chef Boyardee's.
Tic-tac-toes.
New Tic-Tac-Toes, a good hot meal. And when you get 3 X's or O's on your spoon, you win.
Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee.
Tic-tac-toes.
With and without meatballs.
Why my mom should take me to Showbiz Pizza by Jeffrey Allen Adams. It's because I have been good at school and home, and I have not picked fights with my sister. Very much.
Hey, little brother, come and have a ball. At Showbiz Pizza, you'll be walking tall. You can laugh, be a kid, you can flex your legs. Showbiz Pizza, where a kid can be a kid.
Thanks, Mom.
Try that again with the mic on. Hey, everybody. How's it going? If I can get out of the scene here. Turn that down. Don't want to be too silent, but we don't want to have a dance party. Thanks, everybody. Staying up late. We were doing... Nice. I think, oh, man. Science fiction. I must not have the alerts on this scene. Hang on one sec. Won't jip you. Try it again. Do it for you. There we go. You redeemed that on Twitch, but I didn't have it turned on this scene. Got all kinds of little gems like that. And speaking of, I did add some new super chat alerts and some new bit alerts. So let me flash those real quick in each chat. Works without causing a disaster here. There we go. There we go. Super chat variations. They are in the description on YouTube and the about page on Twitch. So, look, one of them got cut off in super chat, but whatever. You can see those in the description. Those are just for fun. I have the alerts on. Now that I say that, don't. Tanya, thank you for the super. How's everybody doing tonight? Got some news. Figure we'll do some news after we chat a little bit, and probably play a game after. Haven't decided yet. I'm leaning towards... I may play the X-Men game from like 20 years ago, X-Men Mutant Academy 2, only because I learned that you can pick Professor X, and he fights in his wheelchair, and it's insane that was made. So I may do that or another Marvel game. We'll see, but that's later. We'll do the news first.
I like it!
There we go. There's the alert. Thank you, Tanya. I like it. Move that through. Thank you, Tanya. That helps out the stream, keeps me going. That's cool. Oh yeah, over on Twitch, Science Fiction, you have played that X-Men game. You were talking about that on Discord. Yeah, it's terrible, but it looks so funny. Everybody's chatting amongst themselves. I think what else has been going on. Oh yeah, so Jen and the kid are watching, so I have secret signals. Nah, it's cool, Joy. Everybody can chat. Hey kid, go to sleep. Got something for the kid right here.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
That question would be, why are you still awake? Wham all day and wanted to go to bed. Now she's freaking complete pure energy. Sorry. I'm just setting up a thing or two over here and switch to the news shortly. But what's been going on with everybody else? Any news on your all's ends? Anything fun? That's great. She liked it. Go to sleep. Explain nipple chicken. Yeah. Long story, but I invented a new idea. Everybody should start playing it. Call it nipple chicken. Basically, you tweak somebody's nipples while they're doing it to you, and see who runs away first. Don't ask me how we came up with that. The science fiction says, I started watching the old Silver Surfer cartoon again. I forgot how much I enjoyed that show. I don't know if I ever actually watched that. I remember it. It seems like it came on at like some weird time. Like it was only like early Sunday or something. But I know Thanos shows up in an episode. Beyond that, I don't remember anything about it. But yeah, the nipple thing was all about Harry, like, tweaking everybody's nips. Anya, some kids here thought it would be fun to pull down power lines with a fishing rod. Half the town was without power. I hope they didn't catch 20,000 volts with the rod. It's funny. Actually knew somebody. They, gosh, I don't remember how far back this was. This was in the 90s. Someone I know had too much to drink and crashed their vehicle in the middle of town and happened to hit a power pole and knocked out electricity for like the whole town and managed to drive away. And I assume they never got caught, but everybody was without power for a while. Science fiction. I'm almost 3/4 of the way through the OG X-Men show. Yeah, the old show's still good. That last season's terrible, but it's... Yeah, that very last season's terrible. It's a totally different animation studio. It may be Deke. I don't remember who did that last one, but it's somebody totally different. It looks awful. Speaking of nerd shit, got my Spider-Man 2099 shirt on. Need to make a cartoon of him. Kid wants to say one thing. Shart. She just learned that word and can't stop laughing about it. Yeah, we're parents. He says, it took the cops nearly an hour to catch them all. They ran in all directions. Nuts. Who would think to use a fishing line to take down power line? Things conduct. We got a game running in the background. Switch things around. There's my browser. I always lose it. Joy, my sweet husband is watching you. Hello, sweet husband. I hear you're sweet. To Tanya. I think she was about to ask if there's any Florida news. Yeah, we've got one right off the bat. Yeah, I've got at least one Florida man story. It's a really good one too. I guess I'll get to that shortly. And what else everybody's saying here? Yeah, so I mean, I can tell it's mostly Jen's crew right now, so I'm sure everybody's aware that Catherine posted a photo and she'll be out, so Jen's champing at the bit to report on that. And yeah, literally in the chat right now, she set her alarm so she can wake up early and see that and report on it. But that's cool. Good thing. Good to see she's doing better. Checking my thermostat. It's toasty up here. Oh yeah, I guess several people set their alarms early. And sorry, I totally even forgot. I got distracted when I first got on, but yeah, thanks everybody for staying up late, and hello everybody. Got Science Fiction over on Twitch. He loves the 2099 comics, much like myself. And over on YouTube, we got Joy, Kathy, Tanya, Big Meow. I'm not missing anybody else. Thanks for staying up late. And if you missed it last stream or haven't watched it yet, be sure to check out on this channel the Made a video summarizing my hot chip challenge. Because nobody watched the actual video, so, you know. I want to make that torture worth something. Georgie, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Kind of saying hello. Jen's on here too, you might see. We're just kind of saying, kind of talking about random things. Do some, we'll do some news in a little bit. Science fiction. I still have 2 of those chips in my car. That's hilarious. Yeah, I was driving around somewhere and I picked up one of those, I guess both of them at different times. Can't remember where I got the first one. I think I got it from like a Walgreens or something. And I had it for a while. I was like, I don't know what to do with it. And then during lockdown, I was making videos. I was just like, I'm like, I guess I'll do one on this chip. And that was a mistake. That thing was so hot, it hurt. But I did end up buying another one. I think at another Walgreens. They just happened to have one on the shelf. So, we looked at it last stream, or at least I pulled up the image. I think it's a 2021 chip. So it's almost a collector's edition at this point. I guess they don't sell those anymore. Tried to get John and Donnie to do one with me a while back. Both of them were just like, hell no. Yeah, those things, they're pretty bad. Have you ever done one? Or are you just waiting for that time to do it? Because just a piece of advice that I didn't know when I did Chip Challenge. Oh, you've done it 3 times. Okay, well, you know then. Yeah, it's the heat's horrible. That's probably the hottest thing I've ever eaten. But the aftermath is the worst part. Like, not even, I'm not talking about like poop or whatever. I'm talking about when it's inside of you, just burning your insides. Like, I just wanted it out of me and it would not leave. Funny though, but you've done it 3 times. Were those all Pocky chips? And the answer I couldn't find the last stream. I know they took them out of stores. Do they still have them online, or do they just quit selling those chips altogether? I know there's that other one, Death Nut. I think they have different levels of that one. I'm aware of it. I've never had one or, looked at it. All Pocky chips. Yeah, I don't know how much those chips vary. Again, I've got the 2021 one in the pantry, and I believe it said it's Carolina Reaper and Scorpion Pepper. I don't know what that means. It sounds violent. I know Carolina Reaper was in the original one I did. I think it was like a 2019 chip, maybe. But yeah, immediately it was just the burning went away, but stomach cramps didn't. I'll do the news shortly. I keep freaking edging everybody on that, but probably what I'm going to do. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't streamed to my video game channel quite a bit, so I'm going to do this stream first, and then if you want to hang around, I'll switch it over to the game channel, and Twitch won't go anywhere. Twitch will just take a break as I switch over, but that'll be later. I do I was talking with Jen earlier. I do want to kind of set up a game night that's either on this channel or her channel, or maybe both. Maybe we'll simul stream it somehow. But there are some like games you can play with on stream that we've talked about doing, like Jackbox. The new one we filmed was Gartic Phone. I say new; it's been around for a while, but it's, you know, you just pull up your phone or your computer or whatever in the browser, and you can draw stuff and do animations, and it's pretty fun. We've played it here at home with like the 3 of us, but I think that one would be fun with a lot of people. Jen talking in chat. Yeah, so our kid, she knows when she has a chill alarm. When it's time to chill, it goes off. Does the opposite. Science fiction. At the time, the Carolina Reaper was the hottest pepper, but I think it's something called Pepper X. I'd believe it. That thing, and that rings a bell. I think, I don't know, I watched some YouTube video years ago on like hot sauce, and I remember that. Now that you say that, that rings a bell. I remember the Reaper being touted as like the hottest pepper at the time. So Pepper X I haven't heard of. I've even gotten some of the sauces from Hot Ones. Not the Hot One branded ones, but Amazon, you know, they've got some of them they carry. I think the Blair's Megadeth sauce. I have that one, and it is so hot. Like, I used it with just regular food. I just put like 3. I think I made some eggs and just went like beep, beep, and did like 3 little drops in a whole bowl of eggs, and it made. I mean, it was still in the realm of, you know, being able to tolerate it, but it I mean, those tiny little drops made it so hot. God. Have you ever seen the video of the dude smoking a dried Carolina Reaper out of a bong? No, but I'm sure I can imagine what happened. I assume he probably packed up both lungs. Like, every time I go on stream, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get a haircut. Oh yeah. Just DM it to me. I'll check it out. I've had a few people on the gaming channel. They've asked me about starting a Discord. I may down the line. I mean, like right now, you know, where Zwar has his server, like most people the very few people I interact with are on there, so I might make one, I don't know. Jen saying, gonna bribe the kid to go to bed so I can watch steamy carriage rides. Alright, night. Oh yeah, secret code. So secret. Tell the kid to go to sleep. Go to sleep. Actually, wait. Kid's still watching. Let me show her something real quick. Find it. Second here. Kid's still watching. I'm gonna play something that's gonna make her laugh.
Huh? You gonna get sick? Huh? You gonna get sick? Huh? Huh? Oh my God! He's gonna puke! He's gonna puke! He's gonna puke! He's gonna puke! He's gonna puke!
that makes the kid laugh every time. I don't even think she knows the context. She just knows it's funny. Cracking up laughing. Why am I not surprised? Kids going to bed. I think it's about time to do the news. And again, if you check the description, you can see links to merch. If there's anything funny you may like, I want to add some more stuff. Not with just my name on it, but I have some silly ideas. We'll get to that at some point. I guess now's a good time to start news. Because can't have news without Florida Man. Make this a little bigger. The headline alone, I mean, I don't even know if I need to read it. Guess we can just get right into it. Let me, swear I can never get my microphone in a good spot. Move this thing around. Make sure I'm not too quiet. All right. Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Bad Vibes. Thank you for joining me. We've got some Florida news. We haven't had any in a little bit.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza eye, that's road rage.
Florida man allegedly hurls pasta at driver during road rage incident. Doesn't look too ragey there. So a road rage incident took a saucy turn when a Florida man got fed up with glaring headlights and allegedly resorted to flinging pasta with sauce at another driver, striking him through his open window. So a 46-year-old man was arrested with battery. Like battering as in food, like he battered him before cooking him. That was terrible. Anyways, 46-year-old man was arrested with battery after the food fight that took place in St. Petersburg. Sorry, there's a lot of information we don't need. So a 46-year-old man was arrested with battery after the food fight that took place. And the road rage incident stemmed from glaring headlights, according to the affidavit. He allegedly chucked pasta with sauce through his passenger window and hit a man who was driving. So, okay, back up a second. So he threw it, he was in the driver's seat, threw it out of his passenger window into the other driver's driver window. That's, you know, let's get some details here, but that's a pretty good shot. So he escaped the pasta attack unscathed and without injuries, though probably a bit sauce-stained on his arm, legs, and torso. And so the culprit was later found with the same the culprit was later found with the same food stains in the right sleeve of his shirt. like they had to go CSI on this. They pulled the guy over to like zoom enhance at his shirt, and they saw pasta sauce and Sherlock cracked the case. So he was taken into custody, but has since been released after posting a $1,000 bond. So there aren't too many details on that. I want to see if I can find more. Let's see. Try Florida man pasta road rage. We can find him here. This one's a day. This one's from a day after. Maybe it's got more details. But I mean, unless they were parked beside each other, think about think about how hard that would be to throw it out of your window into another window. Especially if it was like a big bowl. It's not science fiction. Had to bring in forensics to test the sauce. Yeah, they brought in the CSI sauce analyst. He came in, he licked the victim, and then he's like, Prego. Then they got the suspect in. He gave a little taste. He's like, it's a match. And they brought him in. So this whole thing started over glaring headlights. So if anyone's driven a car in the past, I don't know, 20 years, 10 years at least, headlights are bright as crap now. So they probably just had bright headlights that were stock, and the guy just got mad and threw spaghetti at someone. Not seeing many details. Take a look. Check us on Fox. I don't think this is it. I think this is just like random headlines. Got a video.
Nearly 1 million customers have.
We don't want to buy stamps. We want to learn about spaghetti. Hey, Barbara, thanks for joining. And yes, how about that chip? I'm still alive. Go back here in the chat. So, yeah, Tanya asked, was the pasta cooked? I have no idea. That would be funny if it was uncooked pasta. Nobody's got any more details on this. I want to see if somebody has a little bit of a... Here's Yahoo. This was 6 days ago. This is a little more recent. Still can't find anything more, but I do see... Let me scroll, zoom in here. So, okay, the story in question, this all happened in Florida. It sounds like that's all the details we have now. I don't even know if it was spaghetti or if it was ziti. What kind of sauce was it? Was it tomato based? Was it Alfredo? We may not know. We'll save that for breaking news. But this article does add a little bit more, not to this story, but they point out this food-fueled road rage incident is bizarrely not the first to occur recently that also involves pasta. It says just over a week before in Indianapolis, police showed up at a scene at a road rage incident where a pregnant... Hold on. Words hard, reading too fast. Just over a week before in Indianapolis, police showed up at the scene of a road rage incident. At the scene of a road rage incident with a pregnant woman visibly shaking and covered in spaghetti. And the police were called to the scene in April. This was on the 17th, so yeah, it was a little over a week for the previous story. And a driver reported that a woman in a GMC SUV was following her and flashing a handgun. The woman nearly hit the pregnant woman's car and tailgated her up to an intersection where she threw a container of spaghetti into the victim's open window. The victim got out of the car to try and talk with the woman and exchange insurance details, but the woman allegedly pointed a gun at her. The woman was later arrested but denied ever pointing a gun. Wow. I never want to drive again. I'm going to get freaking spaghetti and meatball. That is the spiciest meatball when it has a gun. So yeah, hey, thanks for joining, Barbara, and SBD girl. Thank you for staying up with us. And yeah, headlights are crazy bright sometimes, especially with a car with an SUV with those behind it. Yeah, so I've got an older car, and I still have like, the regular headlights in it. Somehow I've never changed those. that dawned on me recently. Like a 20-year-old car still has the original headlights, but they're not that bright, but it's pretty low to the ground. And if a truck or an SUV is behind me that's newer with like xenon or halogen lights, it's freaking blinding. Luckily my car's still new enough. I've got the electrochromic mirror or whatever you call it, so I can darken my mirror and not be blinded. But yeah, that's so annoying. Oh, man, it sounds like the kid still will not sleep. But yeah, this is very unrelated, but I'm trying to think how long ago this was. 20 Yeah, like 2011, I think. I had LASIK surgery. So I used to wear contacts. I don't now because I had my eyes peeled open and glued shut, whatever they did. But something I didn't know until I had that done is it actually affects your night vision, especially right in the beginning. So you probably have a good chunk of time where you're very sensitive to light. And it, like, I already was. And so driving at night was a freaking terror for me because it made everything so bad, and like it made everything that much brighter. So I actually, I was basically Corey Hart. I wore my sunglasses at night for like a good year. I pretty much wore sunglasses 24/7 because everything was so freaking bright. So that's a side effect that they probably don't tell. You probably don't hear much about unless you have it done or know somebody. But who throws spaghetti? What's up with Florida being freaking real life Mario Kart? We had that story a couple weeks back. It was the guy that stole the go-kart and drove around town. Now we have people throwing literal pasta at each other. Like freaking forget road rage. Now we got toad rage. I'm the best. I'm gonna hit you with spaghetti. Yeah. Mr. Comment back there. Yeah, sounds. I despise those bright silvery blue headlights. Those things blind me. Yeah, I know. I hate that. I hate driving at night. Stinks, and you can't see. That makes it even worse. Hey Celeste, thanks for joining us. Jess says, "Oh, I recently saw a reel on Instagram where a Florida man caught a small gator and is driving the trash can, wheeled it to the lake, tipped it, and ran away." I think I saw that too. I don't know if Jen showed it to me or if I just saw it shared somewhere. I guess if you deal with them enough, you're just like, whatever. I'm definitely not in that ballpark. If I saw a gator, I would just run. Already blind in my left eye and I'm not trying to lose my right one yet. Yeah, I know. don't lose both. McMeow says, when our neighbor mows near the lake, he pushes the mower from the side to avoid gators. Yeah, screw gators. No fun. No fun for anyone. All right. We'll keep going with the news. This one is pretty fresh. Jen just sent me this one today. Not that long ago. I think it was probably while I was eating lunch or thereabouts. So this one's good. I'll read it and I'll come back and play the video. Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Bad Vibes, and I have news for the fans. Our only fans, but not my only fans. I'm not on there. But a hunky Nashville cop is. He was arrested for filming an OnlyFans video while on duty and in his uniform, which is brilliant. What could go wrong? So a policeman has been arrested for appearing in a raunchy OnlyFans skit where he gropes a woman's privates. I'm going to kind of dance around words on YouTube. During a fake traffic stop. So he was fired by Metro Nashville Police Department on May 9th after he was identified in an OnlyFans video filmed while he was on duty. He was arrested and charged on Thursday, this is back in May, for this incident, citing felony official misconduct. His cover was blown when he accidentally flashed his department patch to the camera, which was visible on his uniform. Why would you use your real uniform? Even if you really want, do you need that level of realism in your OnlyFans? And if you do, just freaking cover it up. Like, don't you do that when you beat the shit out of people anyways? cover it up. So police discovered the clip posted on OnlyFans star Jordan with an I. All right. Can't believe he didn't arrest me was the name of the clip. It was made on the evening of April 26th in a warehouse area parking lot. So the chief directed that the investigation continue after he was fired, resulting in his indictment. And he has a bond set at $3,000. I believe we have a gallery here. So if you've ever seen any kind of adult video, I mean, not that I ever have. Why would I? Here's some stills. So yeah, a little bit of grabbing going on. I guess this is the actual OnlyFans star. Oh, so this is what got him. So he was given away by a split second where his patch was visible on his uniform. So that little snippet of the patch there is what got him busted. Oh, wow. They did some actual detective work. I guess that's the most they saw. And then they put it together. So was somebody in the department an OnlyFan? That's funny. Don't be doing that at work. I mean, yeah, I was hoping he filmed it all with his body cam. It's going to show up on one of those YouTube channels. Like, it looks like he's arresting somebody, and it takes a very different turn. So, the statement from the police says, that was one of the most outrageous, disrespectful acts that a person here could do, and by disrespectful, I mean to all the police department employees and this agency. The video filmed about 2 weeks ago, this is back in April, begins with Jordan, the woman, sitting in the driver's seat as the officer walks towards her and is scolded by her passenger for driving too fast. She says, "I'm not going to get a ticket. I'm going to show him my tits," she said. And the officer, whose face and most of his uniform is never shown, approached and identified himself as Officer Johnson of the police department. So he said she was going 65 in a 45 zone and asked to see her license and registration. She said she didn't have them and showed him her breasts, but he scoffed. "Ma'am, it's 2024. I can see tits on the internet anytime." Which she would probably agree to, but you gotta pay for them. "Well, what if you touch them?" she countered, and he agreed. Herman then reaches into the car, groped her, and then grabs his own genitals through his pants. Classy. It sounds like a video that was from the 70s. It's like, this has been done so much. Get some creative freedom. Get some creative juices flowing among the other juices. He said he would let her off with a warning and walks away, much to the surprise of the passenger. While he had his hands at the car window, there was a brief second where enough of the patch was visible to identify it, as we just spoke of. And that was all police needed. So, I mean, that was a stretch to find that. I wonder who saw that. Sounds like the police investigated. So there's somebody in the police department that was one of her OnlyFans. They're like, wait a minute. So anyways, a woman claiming to be Jordan, the OnlyFans girl, left a comment on a Reddit post discussing his firing, claiming he was off the clock when the video was filmed. And she said, for context, since it was me, it was a stunt and totally consensual and private property, etc. The fact they fired him is stupid, she wrote. Yeah, I mean, you could argue that many ways, but doing it in the actual uniform, even though it wasn't visible, oh, that's a stretch. You know, obviously people figured out who he was, so yeah. Oopsie. Yeah, this story is wild. There is a video. Let's see what the video says about it. It may just freaking read it to us, but
Whatever your business needs.
or to give us an ad, let's buy some freaking Vistaprint. That's what we need. I'm gonna mute this. Yeah, I mean, this is nuts.
Told you you were going too fast. Nobody listens to me.
I'm not gonna get a ticket.
How do you think that you're going to get a ticket?
I'm gonna show my.
No, you're not.
Watch me. Just watch.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Officer Jones, MPD. You know where I pulled you over?
No.
All right, well, I got you going 65 and I'm 45 back there, okay? You have your license or registration on you?
I actually don't have it in this car, but what if I show you these?
Like they're using him to censor.
Well, what if you...
What if you what? What's she saying?
Consider this your sign to stock up on signage.
So yeah, that was pretty silly and harmless. I mean, at least the bit we saw, but he was in his freaking work uniform. I mean, hard to, as Jess is saying, you know, if you're in the uniform, a firing is not hard to get around. I mean, not, as Jess is saying, a firing is probably in the cards if you have your actual work uniform on, even if you're off the clock. And yeah, that was some terrible acting. I kind of hope this becomes a trend, though, if it goes back to, like, 70s level. It's just on OnlyFans, so we're going to get the Papa John's delivery guy next. Like, I don't have money for my pizza. He's like, this pizza has sausage. I'm the delivery man. I know how to pay. And then something Papa John's. Maybe they should just make ads. Just do ads like that. Forgot about this one. I'm not hating on police. It's just seen some stuff lately. Yeah. Who ordered the big sausage pizza? The Shack XXL size. Yeah, I mean, advertising your wearing your workplace uniform is going to get you in trouble. No matter what you're doing, even if it's something like totally benign. It's everybody's so careful about you know, their image and what they're associated with. I mean, I've worked for places they're just like don't do anything on social media. Like, I mean, it's pretty much like, I'm thinking of an analogy. Pretty much now, every company is Will Smith. They're like, keep my name out of your motherfucking mouth. Do not talk about me on social media, because if you do, you will get in trouble. Probably slapped, figuratively. Oh yeah, I think Jen sent me this one too. All right. Hello. This is Dr. Bad Vibes. Thanks for joining us. We have a combination of things. We've talked about police lately, and why not mix police with airplanes? Because that's what this channel seems to keep coming back to. Airplanes in Florida. So there's a shocking moment where a plane passenger offers a cop relations after being hauled off a flight for being too drunk while her mother stood next to her. And the subtitle says, drunk passenger mocks cops. Hang on. The subtitle says, drunk passenger mocks airport cop's mediocre salary and penis. What a flight. So, let's see here. An intoxicated... Right. An intoxicated passenger offered cops relations after they hauled her off on a Frontier flight for being too drunk. The woman was filmed being deplaned in front of her horrified mom who had accompanied her on the journey. Police at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport were called to reports of a drunken, disorderly passenger on December 1st. And this is 2023. This is an older one. So footage of the altercation has since emerged, and that's why we're talking about it, which shows the inebriated woman offering oral relations in a bid to get out of the situation. So the clip starts as cops board the aircraft and find the woman slumped in her chair next to her mom with her hand in flexi handcuffs. Wow, that is a face. She hungry. She hungry for that sausage. Oh, that guy does not look like he's having a good day. Let's see what the photos are here. Is that when she offered? Because that's what that face is saying to me. I guess this was when she was turned down. So she was subsequently arrested for public intoxication. That's an airplane. We know what those are. And those are ads. Celeste says, Jay, I'm concerned about you having such great lines for a pizza delivery guy. Do you moonlight as a script writer for those films? I know they take 5 minutes to write. Well, believe it or not, very long time ago, I was a pizza delivery guy. Although I never ended up in any of those situations. So I had to deliver pretty far distances, so I probably worked out those scenarios in my head in case they ever happened, but nah, they don't. Lucky if you even get a tip. Not that kind of tip, but money. So they managed to wrestle her into a wheelchair and get her off the plane before the mom tells police her daughter had a couple of shots before getting on board. She then pulls out multiple miniature bottles and she says her daughter also drank before the airport. I mean, I know some people have anxiety about flying, but you don't have to get trashed. Like, I don't know what's the thing with flying and just getting blasted. Not long ago, we took a short flight, and the guy beside we ended up getting separated. The whole seating thing. I was in the row behind Jen and the kid, but the guy beside me was just freaking wasted. And I got to hear about him. He got to talk to me like the whole flight till he passed out. I was just like, good Lord, dude. Anyways, that's me. That's what I attract when I go out in public. So anyways, Samantha is then seen telling cops that she is sorry and she effed up before becoming irate and ordering officers not to touch her. She then decides a more amorous approach, calling the officers cute and saying she wants to kiss them. That's that's basically like bail, right? Just they take cash, titles and smooches. So, all right, this is in her voice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make out with you. She tells one officer while biting her lip, you're cute. She adds to another before saying, I can't wait to make out with you. Things ramp up even further when she starts licking her lips and offering to perform oral relations. You're D in my mouth forever, she states. I love you. If you want to actually do stuff with me, we can let go of this. I love that's the photo they use. She's like, ah. Oh, I think they have some footage of her. So what we're gonna swing around to that. When they refuse to engage, she gets angry again, begging them to let her go. Pick me up. Oh, wait, I gotta do her verse. Pick me up and take me the F home, she yells. You're being a... I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. Whatever. You're being a pussy. Pick me the F up or I'll punch you in the vagina. I will literally do anything you tell me to do. That is a very... very... that's a lot in that conversation. That voice is killing me. As they go outside and approach the waiting cop car, she becomes hysterical again. Are you serious? They go my arm. You guys literally effing word I can't say. She fumes as they bundle her into the back. I like it's just told like in a story. As soon as the door slams behind, she lets out a huge scream before lashing out and kicking the divider down between the front and back seat. Oh, she kicked the divider down. Damn. That's probably a charge right there. So an officer tells her to calm down, and she finally stops kicking and is taken to the station while howling and crying the whole way. Once there, she continues to be obstructive, at first refusing to provide her details until the police explain she has to in order to get out. As the footage ends, she is led into a cell where officers remove some of her clothes as she continues to sob in protest. Please let me go. I really can't do this. And that's where it ended. But there is a couple of videos. Let's see what we got here. Maybe the, I think that's probably, it looks like YouTube footage. I probably can't play that one. What we got here? No, that's sad. Don't show us that. I can probably play this in the live stream. It's probably going to ding me. This is another...
On December 1st, 2023.
Oh god, this is
officers were
that's a 30-minute video. I'll when I cut this out, I'll put it in the description if you want to watch the whole video. Because I'm not playing a 30-minute video. We'll just go with my reenactment. So the moral of the story is don't get wasted on a plane, and if you get caught, don't you probably can't get out of it by offering to suck things. Just get off the plane. Sounds you sound like Dr. Girlfriend. Hello, Monarch. I'm Dr. Girlfriend. Anybody else watch Venture Brothers? I love that show. You know, I actually bought the movie and I still haven't watched it. Call me Dr. Girlfriend. I was reading the whole time. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything in chat here. Petite Marie, an enormous cicada flew down my shirt. That's terrible. Oh, dude, the movie is great. Yeah, I've heard it's good. I just keep forgetting to watch it. Like a Barbarian, I bought the Blu-ray, and that kind of limits where I can watch it. So I need to. I got a digital copy now. I need to actually play it. I drove by super loud here. A couple more stories. Yeah, Barbarian. Using old technology like my Barbarian car that has an actual key that you have to turn. I'm confused by the ones with fobs now. Yeah, not the horror film, just the the act of using technology that's it's hard to say Blu-ray's outdated, but I think most people don't use it. I've only got yeah, I didn't get the actual movie. Trying to think. I think I only have one Blu-ray player in the house. And that's the PS3. So I usually have to rip my movies. I mean, it's pretty rare for me to buy a Blu-ray anymore. I usually get a digital copy, but if it's something I really want to keep, then yeah, I'll get a Blu-ray or DVD. Got the what other one did I get? Because I got two at the same time. I got the Venture Brothers movie, and then I got the Metalocalypse movie. That was Blu-ray or DVD. But that one had a code for a digital. That was a little easier. Enjoy. Sorry, Jay, I'm a bookworm. Plus, Blu-ray's outdated. Not really. I mean, especially if you want to watch 4K, just do Blu-ray. It's the easiest way because streaming. I mean, if you're real particular about it, I mean, streaming's not the way to go on 4K. Even if you have the best internet, Blu-ray is always going to be better. And fortunately, I mean, places are. I mean, you can still get Blu-rays, but fewer and fewer places are stocking them. I think here recently, Walmart cleared out a lot of their physical movies. I don't think they totally got rid of them, but they drastically reduced them. And I'm like, maybe in Best Buy. Somebody else, I think they totally got rid of their physical movies. Tanya, my dad still has VHS tapes and a player that still works. You know, that's funny. I actually probably have more VHS players than I do DVD or Blu-ray players. There's still a VCR at my dad's house blinking. It's been blinking since the 80s. Blinking 12 o'clock. Science fiction. Aren't the OG PlayStation 1s like the best devices for listening to CDs? Yeah, that's right. There's something magical about their sound chip, I think. I think it's not every PlayStation 1, but the early ones. I think John's got one. They have the weird... it's easy to tell. I think they've got the weird composite jack. It's like, the red and the yellow, and it's got like a mini jack below it. It's not common. And they quit making them that way after a while. But yeah, supposedly if you're in the CDs, that's like the best simple thing to get. Which I do still buy CDs occasionally. Enjoy. I still have some of my VHS tapes. Funny you mentioned that. Yeah, I mean, as I got DVDs, like I got rid of a lot of my VHS tapes. I didn't have a ton. I do still have a lot. Like, I have a bunch of nerd shit that's still on VHS. I think I've got some like old anime that I watched, when I was like a teenager, and I never got the DVDs, so I've still got VHS tapes sitting somewhere. But on these streams, when I do the BRB screen that has those old commercials playing, those literally came from VHS tapes in my house, or my parents' house, because I used to. I wanted to watch Saturday morning cartoons, but at different times. It was usually Little League. I think those games were those tended to be Saturday mornings while the cartoons were on, and I didn't want to miss them, so I would record TV on VHS, and I found a bunch of those tapes while we were cleaning stuff out, and I just kind of put them in. I'm like, haha, I remember those. But as I saw the commercials, I'm like, these are freaking funny. So I ripped a bunch of commercials through like a digitizer card I have, an encoder card. And that's how I started out on YouTube. If you go back, I have videos. I think they're back. It's like 2013 or so. They uploaded a bunch of those commercials to my YouTube channel. And for some reason I think somebody sampled a clip from it, but the Fruity Pebbles commercial has like tens of thousands of views for no reason. McMeow says, random thought, Papa John's brought their cheeseburger pizza back and I'm ordering for lunch. Yeah. I mean, it's fun to hate on Papa John's, but they are so delicious. I should do that one stream. I need to do like a pizza. I mean, this would be, this would be American focused, but a pizza chain tier list. I'd say for me, Papa John's, they're the best. But bang for your buck, freaking Little Caesars. Don't sleep on Little Caesars. They're freaking delicious. I remember my cousin bought all the VHS tapes from a place nearby when they were closing. He spent like $300 and let them have them all, even the stuff they never put out for rent. That's crazy. Yeah, I remember. So like where we grew up, we never had Blockbuster or any chains. We just had like mom and pop stores. Like, and sometimes they were the Wild West. There were a handful I used to go to, and It must be like a rural thing because I haven't noticed it in other places, but like we seem to really love horror movies. Like you remember back, it was way back. Netflix used to show like, it would show like local favorites or what's trending locally or whatever, and it would have like it wasn't like super precise, but it'd be like I don't know, like a decent sized city that was near you. And whenever when I'd be visiting back home, like I would see what was trending. It would usually show somewhere in Tennessee, but it was always horror movies. And that's how all the video stores were when we were growing up. They had so many freaking horror movies, and I watched all kinds of weird stuff. I don't remember Silver Screen. I don't think I ever went to that one. I know there's some wild ones though. I don't want to name too many and like dox our hometowns, but yeah, some of the small ones like, and well, the quote unquote big ones near us, like they had some crazy horror movie collections. Oh, and as we're talking about pizza, that reminds me, like back in the 90s, I guess, I mean, well, probably the 80s to a degree too. So we had all these, you know, internet wasn't a thing. Obviously streaming wasn't a thing. So we had so many video stores, where I grew up. And I always joked that they always like functioned on the trifecta. It was always three businesses in one. It was like a video store, and some kind of food, and then usually a tanning bed. That's usually what they were. And one of the best ones, well, I guess not in like terms of what they had, but just like it was so big, and I guess so many people went there. It was a video store, a pizza place, and tanning beds. And you hear that, and it's like that's insane. But it was busy all the time. I think every video store had tanning beds in the back. Something like you think about it now, it's just like, wow, that was weird. I don't know if that was a regional thing or if that was everywhere, but that's what I remember growing up. That's some nostalgia. Yeah, our local is video, subs, and arcade. That makes a little more sense. Actually, my favorite one, it's still kind of there. They just don't have any of the original businesses, I don't think. But it was video store, a Radio Shack, and an arcade. And that one was always fun to go to. And it wasn't too far from me either. And that was one of the first places I remember doing like long-term rentals. Like they would, and they did it pretty cheap too. It'd be like, rent 10 movies for $5 for, a week or whatever. As long as they weren't like the new releases. So I used to rent tapes all the time, and I would copy them. So I've probably thrown a lot out because I've got different copies now. That's fine. You could cook your pizza in the tanning bed. Yeah. They give you the uncooked pizza, and you just lay in the tanning bed, and you get out bronzed and hungry and good to go. Yeah, Radio Shack, the most overpriced store to ever exist. So, also one of the weirdest stores. Like the most inquisitive store to ever exist. Like I don't think I ever purchased anything from Radio Shack without getting 20 questions. Well, what are you doing with that? And then you're having to sign your name for like freaking batteries or whatever. Oh yeah, the 5-day video game rentals. Yeah, there were plenty of games we rented, and we beat them over the weekend. We're like, oh, okay, and just took them back. But speaking of Radio Shack, one of the most ingenious things I ever did with a Radio Shack purchase. So, my parents had this conversion van. This was, this is kind of before SUVs were a thing. And, that's what they went with. And like, that thing was pretty, I mean, it wasn't cool, but it was cool. I mean, it didn't look cool, but it was very practical, and it was great for road trips. And it had, the tall roof that had like the 5-inch TV, the CRT TV. and a VCR, and something happened to the VCR. I mean, at this point, I was like old enough to know how to fix stuff. You know, I was at least 13 or so, and I think the VCR broke or whatever, and I was like, oh well, it probably just needs a special type of VCR. It runs on 12 volt or whatever. So I looked at it, realized I was like, oh, it's just all just like normal stuff that fits up here. It wasn't anything special. I mean, except for it ran on had the 12 volt like cigarette outlet adapters. And so when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, it's just got like a regular like coax hookup. And I was like, man, that'd be cool if we could hook up the Super Nintendo in here. And then I was like, why can't we? So I went to Radio Shack and I asked them, I was like, do you have a 12 volt power supply that'll work on a Super Nintendo? And not only did they had one made just for that. They had I remember they just walked over like, yeah, and it had like a picture of all the game systems, and it was like a universal 12 volt adapter. So anyways, short version is I rigged up a Super Nintendo in our conversion van. So that was cool for road trips or, really just, I mean, we were still kids. So whenever we had to go somewhere with our parents or even to the grocery store, we could play Mario Kart. Science fiction. I went to Radio Shack to get a CD to cassette adapter for a car I had way back in the day, and it was like $20. Went to Walmart, got one for $3. Yeah, Radio Shack got pretty crappy in the end. Back in the day, they were pretty reasonable. Like if you just needed like small like parts, I need to fix it, but you've probably seen it, that arcade cabinet, the one that's not John's big one, but that black and blue one that's like in a state of disrepair in that back room. I built an arcade cabinet. It was actually G2K was throwing it away, and we came by in a pickup truck and got the cabinet, and I rigged up an old computer and like car speakers in it, and I got a bunch of old used like game stuff, and like it was basically just made from scraps I had, and I had to go to Radio Shack to get stuff to make the controllers work. Because I need to redo that thing. If you open up the big joystick thing, I just got two like computer USB controllers and broke them open, and I connected the PCBs to the joystick parts. that's how that thing works. It was running Windows XP, so it's not exactly cutting edge. So that's something I'd like to chronicle on YouTube. Also, I'd like to got that thing and show how stupid I did it back in the day, and kind of modernize it and make it cool. But the coolest thing I did to it was, it was a real arcade machine, so it's got the coin door and the mechanism inside it. So I rigged the computer power supply to the sensor and the coin door. So you gotta drop a quarter in to turn it on, or know where to where to reach inside the cabinet and flip a switch. That's something I want to fix. Maybe soon, because just getting into turbo nerd shit. But another YouTuber, they're building a clone version of the Mister FPGA system. It's like basically like a hardware emulator, and it does a lot of arcade games and stuff. And it's pretty versatile. Has a lot of, I mean, it just kind of going back to Radio Shack days. It's got a lot of custom stuff you can attach to the board and build it how you want it. So I may do that, something low power and simple that just works, and we'll hook up to a VGA monitor or something I've got in there, just for the old games. That's a project for later. Nerd stuff. But before I put everybody to sleep with nerd shit, do have some more news. But Meow reminded me about those long rentals. Like the best time for renting movies was when Netflix did their discs. That reminds me. I think they were shutting that down finally. Netflix owns, or they did own DVD.com. Yeah, it's gone now. Just streaming. That's what I thought. They finally shut down the disc Netflix. I had that for a long time. And they had crazy plans too. I think I had one at the very end when I knew I was going to cancel. I got the one that let you get like 5 movies at a time. So they would all come in the mail. I'd rip them one by one and then just mail them back out like the same day. And I just did that until I got all the obscure stuff I didn't have. Canceled it. But best was when Blockbuster was in its freaking death throes. I remember going on road trips, and I had that Blockbuster account uh, instead of Netflix. So when I was in grad school, I actually did have, well, in college too. That's the only times that I was anywhere near a Blockbuster. So I think by the time I went to grad school, the Blockbuster mail-in thing happened, and you could return them at the store, and that would instantly like credit your account, and you can get more shipped to you. So I remember, like, we were into the Pride MMA fights back then. So we would, my roommate and I, we'd get a bunch of them in the mail, and then watch them or copy them, depending on how much time we had, and then we would take them straight into Blockbuster, get instant credit, log in, and get the next round of them. So we watched a bunch of the old fights that way. And then when they had those kiosks, like at the very end, they had those Blockbuster, uh, like red boxes, but it was Blockbuster branded. It worked the same way, so I got some mailed into me, and I remember watching movies. Like, we were taking turns driving, and had a DVD player in the SUV, so watched whatever movie. Stopped for gas, and they had a Blockbuster kiosk, and I was like, "Hey, can we just turn this in?" And yeah, it let us do it. So we turned it into the kiosk, and then it gave us credit, and and the kiosk was smart enough to know that you had credit, and you could just pick another movie out of that. So we were, on a road trip just renting movies. It was crazy. I don't think that lasted very long, but that was pretty neat. What's up, Hannah? Down, up, left, right, A, B, start. Kind of the Konami Contra code. Celeste says pinball games, and the last PC game was Labyrinth. My last gaming experience. I do remember the pinball game. That was pretty fun. I'll show you. If you stick around, I might pull something up on the gaming related. If you want to go on a nostalgia trip, I'll show you how you can do some stuff. How about we'll do one more news story here. The rest of these are kind of gross, so I'll do well. This one this one's a little weird, but it's still funny. Yeah, I guess you could still do that with Redbox now. Like, you were on a road trip and had you're getting DVDs. Those still seem to be a thing. I see those at the grocery store and uh pharmacies and stuff. There's like CVS must have some special deal with them because they're always there. But that's the thing. It still needs to exist, though. Like, not everybody's got blazing fast internet, and honestly, like, streaming's starting to blow. So I can't find half the stuff I want to watch. So I've gone back to having to dig, for you know other sources to find certain things. Like, Max loves to remove shows and just not sell them or anything. Kind of happened back in the day, like the, I don't know, early 2000s. I wanted to watch the Monster Squad, and it's like nobody had it. The only like old VHS copies existed. I remember I had to go on eBay to even find one. McMeow. Good night, guys. Off to watch The Doctor. Sweet dreams. Honk honk. Tanya Frazier. Hope you have a good night. McMeow. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was good chatting with you again. Enjoy your show. going to do one more news story and then do some nerd stuff. And I'll probably switch over to a game. All right. Hello, hello, hello. It's Dr. Bad Vibes. Guess where we're at? Florida. So, a funeral home was presented the wrong body for viewing. Wait, not I said that wrong. So, we're in Florida. What could go wrong? Funeral home presented the wrong body for viewing, the family says. So, an Orange County family said their time to mourn turned into a moment of horror. Good Lord, how do you mess that up? They said a funeral home presented the wrong body for their mother's viewing. The family said the mix-up only added to their grief of losing their loved one. I would say so. This happened, I don't want to name places. This last week. When did this come in? This happened about a month ago. The family of an 80-year-old woman spoke only to the reporter of WFTV9. They said it got worse, saying they were dismissed and felt intimidated when they tried to address the issue. The family said the final moments of their mother are now filled with the image of someone else's body. To this day, they have no idea who it was. Holy crap. The video obtained shows part of the traumatic ordeal at the viewing. So she had on everything that I bought for my mom. She had on her wig, the jewelry, her brooch, all the way down to the undergarments. Oh my gosh. Mitchell's funeral home dressed up and labeled another corpse as her mother. My nephew went up to the gentleman at the window and asked who did her makeup. He responded, I did. Said, no disrespect, sir, but it doesn't look like my grandmother. And he said, he told the nephew what already is done is already done. Very Dolph Lundgren, Rocky response. If it's done, it's done. Easy. And when was the last time you've seen your grandmother? So he was devastated. So later they noticed the body didn't have her mother's scar, red nails, or tattoo. The family said the embalmer came out and told them their mother had been in the back the whole time. So it got to the point where the chief judge was heard in the audio. Came in the room, he told me, oh, the funeral is free, but y'all have to sign a release. And I told him, I'm not signing a release. They're trying not to charge him to avoid a mess. So I'm not signing release. And the home did not answer when the news station called them and to ask why he approached the family at the funeral home. And so the station went as far to visit the funeral home to find out how the mistake happened. It says, while the owners would not come to the front, they handed the following pre-made statement, which says, we feel terrible about what has happened. We understand everyone's hurt and disappointment. We've taken appropriate and corrective steps, and we have apologized several times to the family. We've also implemented internal review. I mean, even if you are sincere, how do you fix that? So your final goodbyes. You don't have a chance to say another goodbye, the daughter said. You don't have another chance. There's no do-over, no rewind button, or no reset button. Funeral law expert has said a law was implemented a few years ago saying a tag with the person's name, date of birth, and death must be attached to a body at all times. And every time a body is moved, it's supposed to be documented. Makes sense. So, sounds like they didn't do that. There is a video. I'll play that in just a second. I'm just going to take a look at chat here. Hannah, you always come in hot with the news. See, I'm Mac. News. Got the news. What's the news? I got nothing. It's like wrong body viewing, stuff right out of a comedy of errors film. I think it all happens in film. I hope they got to see their mom. You know, don't know if this is the same story. I'll play the video first. I hope I'm wrong with what I think. I think this was a different story. I'm thinking. I think there was another one where they accidentally cremated somebody that was not meant to be. That's a big oopsie. let whatever ad's gonna play. Oh, I say that, and it's not the first time it's not got an ad. See here, play it.
WFTV tonight.
A family that reached out to Channel 9 says a local funeral home dressed, labeled, and presented the wrong body for their mother's viewing. Good evening, I'm Greg Wormuth.
And I'm Martha Sagowski. The family says the mix-up only adding to their grief. They told us it happened last week at Mitchell's funeral home in Orange County. Now the family of 80-year-old Julia Mitchell is demanding answers. Our Sabrina Majori
I would say so.
Looking into that funeral home's history, and she's joining us live right now with new details tonight. And Sabrina, what were you able to uncover?
Well, Martha, this funeral home has been family-owned since the 1970s. Today, we asked state regulators whether any complaints have been filed against the funeral home. We're still waiting to hear back at this time. In the meantime, the family we spoke to says they still don't know whose body was at their mother's viewing.
How do you not know?
It was such a horrific day for us.
Sanji Walker recalls the moment she realized another woman's body was laying in her mother's casket.
She had on everything that I bought for my mom. She had on her wig, the jewelry, her brooch, all the way down to her undergarments. She looks gorgeous. She looks 50 years younger, but she does not look like mom.
The final goodbye for 80-year-old Julia Glenn Mitchell was far from
it wasn't
peaceful
mom.
after Walker noticed the body didn't have her mother's scar, red nails, or tattoo. And when the embalmer came out,
he said, she's still in the back. And I said, well, that's not my mom? And he was like, no, that's not your mother.
This moment captured
So they still had her in the back.
After the
Holy
funeral
crap.
home acknowledged the mix-up.
The error is purely on us.
Today, Channel 9's Felicia Ashley went to the funeral home to find out how this mistake happened. The owners wouldn't come to the front, but handed over a statement saying they feel terrible about what has happened and understand everyone's hurt and disappointment. The statement says the funeral home has taken appropriate and corrective steps and has apologized several times to the family, as well as implemented an internal review. It comes as Channel 9 has learned another lawsuit was filed against the same funeral home in 2022. That complaint alleges a body that was mistakenly sent to the funeral home wasn't properly stored. As a result, quote, significant and catastrophic decomposition of the remains occurred.
Ew.
That lawsuit was filed by relatives of LaMercy Joseph, who died in 2021, and the case was eventually settled in 2023.
It's already hard enough to muster
You had one job.
to go in and view your parent, you know, and then for this to happen on top of that, I mean, it was like a kick in the gut.
As for Julia Glenn Mitchell's family,
I'm gonna have to think about this for the rest of my life. You don't have a chance to have another goodbye. You don't.
That's wild.
And we asked the state agency that regulates funeral homes whether they are currently investigating this mix-up. We're still waiting to hear back about that. We also did reach out again to Mitchell's funeral home to elaborate.
I would assume that
on
answer is
earlier
yes.
Statement, as well as ask for comment on that lawsuit. We did not hear back before news time. For now, reporting live in Orlando, I'm Sabrina Majori, WFTV Tonight.
I don't care if you're the busiest funeral home ever. How do you...
I need city Kia.
Shh. Come on, we got you.
I don't care if you're the busiest funeral home ever. How do you misplace a body? But yeah, it does sound like she was still in the back. I don't know how that changes things. Hopefully for a little bit to the better side. But oh gosh, yeah, it's like the wrong person in your mom's clothes that you got her. That's bad. I can't even make a joke about that. So freaking figure out how to fix that. Corrective measures my ass. You better follow everything to the T from now on. Good Lord. That's crazy. We'll pull something up here. We were talking about pinball and stuff. Switching gears. Let's go to something a little less horrific. But yeah, I mean, hopefully the body wasn't totally lost and they didn't just let it decay somewhere in the back and they could still move forward just at a different date. But my God, that's terrible. So yeah, we were talking in between these stories, we were talking about, hey, Denise. Yeah, Denise brings up a good point. Where were all the toe tags? It sounds like that's something you're supposed to have at all times. And for some reason, they didn't. So, I don't know. I hope it was something like they had the same or very similar names. I mean, that's not an excuse, but not something quite as egregious as it could be. But in between stories, we were talking about like nerd stuff and building arcade machines and things. So if you ever watched my gaming stream, I just kind of wanted to go over this. I may make a video on this in the future. Just if anybody has any interest, this is pretty easy to do. As long as you have the stuff. So I'm using basically an old office computer. It's an old Dell. And I've installed custom OS that a group of people, it's basically like a group of Linux people work on, and it has a bunch of emulation software. So short version is it doesn't run on Windows or anything. It's almost like an appliance, and I've installed it to the hard drive of this computer, and pretty much have access to every system you could want. Like I think I've got everything up through like PS3 and Xbox 360 on there. And somebody was talking about pinball, and I've even got pinball on here. I just wanted to show this real quick. Because if you're in the pinball and you don't want a whole gigantic machine in your house, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to play pinball, nothing beats playing it on a real machine, but nobody's got room to have, well, most people don't have room to have a house full of pinball machines. And see if it's set up correctly. This is one I've played a lot. One reason I picked it. And this is software that it's like really hardcore pinball people get into. And they, working. Give it a second here. I haven't turned this one on in a bit, so it may have updated. But yeah, this is software that emulates pinball machines, and people that are really into it, like they take measurements and photos and everything. As you can see here, this is like the actual play table. I may not have everything set up the right way. Controller set up for this a bit later. I mean, but you get the idea here. So you can do pretty much any kind of arcade thing you want. I might do a how-to video in the future. Because it doesn't take much to run this. If you got an old computer, as long as it was made, 2010 or newer, like probably handle about anything up to a point. But yeah, I mean, I've got old stuff all the way to pretty new stuff on here. I kind of mentioned that. If anybody's interested, yeah, let me know, and I'll do a full tutorial on this. I started to record that the other day, and then I realized I was missing something. But it's not hard to do. I just want to film it where you can see it and do it easily. But yeah, you can still be a pinball wizard. Yeah, I mean, the pinball community is pretty hardcore. They have about every pinball table I could think of. Like somebody's gone out and measured one and recorded all the sounds and everything, so it's kind of preserved digitally. And if there's any old pinball machine you like to play, it's not hard to get. We'll talk. I'm not going to play games just yet. I'm just making sure I have everything on here. Talk for a little bit more. I'm going to keep streaming, but I'll probably switch over to a game. And I'll probably switch it over to my video game channel. So if you're familiar, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're familiar with like the streams we do at Gen, it'll move the stream over to the game channel. If you want to keep watching, I'll be on there. If you're watching on Twitch, I mean, nothing, I'll probably go to commercial for a little bit, and then when I come back, I'll be playing games. You don't have to do anything Twitch is easy. And we can still chit-chat a little bit. Anybody else has any other news going on? No, Jen, if you're joining late, Jen was on here earlier. She has her alarm set. She's going to wake up early, East Coast time, so she can report on, the UK festivities tomorrow. She's already got some video partially recorded, ready to go. So she's going to have something out soon. Speaking of, the kid is still awake. He swam all day. Came home, like fighting to stay awake, and now she's like literally like just running around screaming. Hey, Tanya, got to go now. I appreciate you hanging out. Thanks again for the super. Actually, while we're talking here, Tanya may be the sole super, but I'll give you some credit here on the end. My music. I need to get some kind of button, a stream deck or something with all my buttons on it. Les says, I may miss out on the UK festivities and live. I'm working. I don't think we're going to do anything live, but, Jen, well, I mean, other people probably will, but Jen's going to, hers will just be video, as far as I know. But again, on the Twitch side, I'm going to keep streaming. YouTube, I'm going to switch it over to the gaming channel. I'll probably run a commercial shortly as I transition and take a quick bathroom break. I'm going to start that up now. Again, Tanya, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. I'm going to run some of the old commercials while I set everything up, and I'll probably be back in like 10-15 minutes or so. I'm going to get everything set up, take a break, get a drink, and I will play some silly video games for Twitch and my gaming channel. We'll be right back. Figure out where too many buttons.
We will return after these messages.
Hey, what's all the fuss, Penguin? Expecting company?
Oh, yes. The lucky winners of the post-cereal SeaWorld sweepstakes. Yippee!
You could win a trip to SeaWorld when you enter the sweepstakes on the free poster of Shamu inside specially marked boxes of honeycomb and super golden crisp cereal. Winners get to meet Shamu, and all the winter get SeaWorld stickers. Details on specially marked boxes. Odds of winning determined by entries received. For free entry, write Post P.O. Box 853A, Churchill, Maryland 21690. Maybe you'll win.
Twizzlers make me very happy. I love the way they taste so chewy. Twizzlers make me very happy.
We love the way they taste so fruity, so chewy, so happy and oh so juicy.
Twizzlers make me very happy.
Twizzlers make your mouth so very happy.
Oh, so happy.
Milk it does.
Milk does body.
Milk it does a body good.
Pass it on.
Check it out.
It's so cool for hanging out. It helps you grow up big and tall.
It's good for teeth.
And that's not all.
It does. Hey, Mr. Moo, what do you say?
Fresh moo juice makes my day.
Milk. It does a body good.
Pass it on.
Milk, it does.
Milk it does a body.
Milk it does a body good.
Pass it on. Pass it on.
The night starts ordinary with forever friends. It's extraordinary. Here's Plushy Tail, Cozy Tail, and Snowy Tail too.
Each sold separately.
Powder Tail and Rosy Tail came to see you. All dolled up with forever friends. Making long tails always makes us smile. Looks so right with forever friends. 'Cause now we're all dolled up with style.
Plushy Tail comes with everything you see here. Other Forever Friends sold separately. New from Kenner.
We'll return after these messages.
Four batteries not included.
Hi, my name is Teddy Ruxpin. Can you and I be friends? I really...
Everybody out!
Then, one day, we found an old treasure map.
Teddy Ruxpin comes with illustrated book and cassette from Worlds of Wonder.
Kellogg's Rice Krispies, the part of this complete breakfast that goes... Kellogg's Rice Krispies. Have you heard how good they are?
We now return to the real Ghostbusters.
We'll return after these messages.
Breakfast with my Fruity Pebbles. Tricking Fred out of his pebbles is always an adventure. The native